Good morning, BookTube. Wednesday morning. A little chilly here in Vermont. I'm at the library where I work, as you can tell by the spine labels on Library of America there. Today's my long day, so I'll be here late into the evening, but today's the first day of our new, well, we do it annually, but we're just starting out. In the wintertime, we always do Shakespeare play. So doing the Merry Wives, so we'll see how that goes. Tonight's first night, so something I always look forward to. Plus I have some company when I'm here late. It's not always the case. I'm a little behind on BookTube videos, and been really a little hectic around here lately. But I did get tagged by Steve Donahue, who was doing the second Tome around book tag. I got to watch him this morning. I do have a little bit of time before I have some meetings this morning, so I thought I'd give this tag a shot. Really interesting. I have seen it going around a little bit when I've managed to get on BookTube and watch a video here and there, and great answers on some of this stuff. So we'll see how I do. The first question is, do you buy secondhand books? I do, almost primarily, and I have this habit when I do these videos of tapping my hand, and I'm trying to stop myself from doing it. There's things you see yourself do on video that are part of your repertoire that you may not realize until you watch yourself on video. So, yeah, I buy almost entirely secondhand books. There are exceptions. If it's an author that I'm really excited about all the time, I may get it new. I just bought a new copy of the Icelandic Sagas, one with the Penguin Deluxe with the Jane Smiley introduction. I bought that because of a read-along. I do buy a lot of new folio societies. Well, not a lot. I'd like to buy a lot more. But I do buy some of those new. But for the most part, I'll get used books. Great books have been being written for 4,000 years. Just buying new books sort of limits you a bit. So, yeah, I'll buy a lot of used books. What was your latest purchase? I'm trying to think what my latest used book purchase would be. I haven't picked up a lot lately because I have a lot to read. So a used book I'm reading right now is I'm reading an old paperback of The Eagle Has Landed by Jack Higgins, and I'm reading The 12 Caesars by Michael Grant. So those are both older books and both wonderful books. Number 3, what condition do you find acceptable? Tatty or not tatty, etc.? Well, for me, it's just like when I buy anything, I don't want it in bad shape. I'm spending my hard-earned dollars. Plus, I don't like to have junk around, right? Cluttering up the house. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen, but I try to avoid it. So the better the condition, the better the price, the better the edition. I'm going to do the best I can with my purchasing power. After you've read a said book, do you keep it for a reread or redonate it? It matters. I do have a home library. I build it as best as I can. I hope my children want it someday. It stays in the family for the most part. That may be delusional on my part. It may not be. So I want to build it with the best intent that I can have, but that also means I don't pile the house up with the ephemeral reads. So, and I do read things that we probably wouldn't keep. That won't age well, but that maybe I enjoy in the moment. Number 5, do you have a favorite place you like to go when looking for secondhand books? I do. I've been to the Brattle Bookshop down in Boston a few times with Steve Donahue, and then I have my locations that I shop up here in Vermont, and Steve has gone with me to those many times. There's the Listen thrift shop. It's a charity shop over in West Lebanon, New Hampshire we go to. Quality's gone down recently, unfortunately, but that's cyclical. Maybe that will change. Over in Quechee Gorge, Vermont, we go to a big antique mall that has tons and tons of books, and Steve likes it because it has lots of comic books. I go to library sales, obviously. We have a big one coming up in a couple of months that is 5 Colleges book sale, which is huge, huge. Steve Donahue went with me last year, and I'm hoping he will go with me this year. And we do well there. So number 6, hardback or paperback, do you have a preference? I do prefer hardbacks, but just like paperbacks and trade paperbacks, mass market paperbacks, all that stuff, that all have their place. Hardbacks are varying quality. Not every hardback is good, so but I do prefer hardbacks. Number 7, have you found any real gems? Great question. Yes. Many, many times. Like I say, I've been reading for 50 plus years and buying books for 50 plus years. I can tell a lot of times reaching into a box and putting my hand on a book that it's something well before I ever know about the title. I've piled books in these book sales. Some of these library book sales are pretty hectic. I just grab it, I know it's something, put it in the bag and get home, and yeah, it's a gem. So it does happen. Not every day, but it does happen. Number 8, optional, find a book from your shelves that you can donate to a good cause or your local charity Goodwill shops. I'm not at home right now, so I can't do that. And I pile up, if I have books that are going to be weeded out of my own collection or that I've used and I'm not interested in keeping, I pile them up, and every once in a while I come back here to the library and donate them to our book sale. So yeah, I think almost everything I'm donating is coming right here to this library, to the friends of the library who have a book sale. This year it's in June, so. Okay, and then the last thing is go ahead and tag some of your peeps. Well, I think in this case, for sure, most of them have done it. Even the newer booktubers I've been watching and haven't been leaving as many comments as I like. That doesn't mean I haven't been watching you. I've just been flat out busy. But and some of the older booktubers too. So if you haven't done it, I mean, you know, it's a good one if you, and I think almost everybody that I watch does use books. I can't even think of anybody who doesn't, at least on some scale. And so some titles you're not getting any other way, right? But if you haven't done it, go ahead and do it. It's a fun tag. It was by the Hungry Bookworm. It was tagged by Steve Donahue, who hopefully will be coming up soon to do some used book hunting, some scouting. So, yeah, thank you, BookTube, and we'll try to get back into the swing of things here real quick. Thank you.